I'm sitting here with Dean Peggy Valentine. Winston-Salem State, congratulations on 125 years.
Thank you.
That's a big deal.
It is a huge deal.
That's a huge deal.
It's amazing how time goes by so quickly, and you look at the university's accomplishments, we all stand in amazement.
Yeah.
But we started out with a one-room schoolhouse, 25 students and one teacher, and now we have over 5,000 students and over 200 faculty members.
Progress has been made.
Progress has been made, and
Yes.
you know, we look at all the things the School of Health Sciences is doing, preparing that next generation of health professionals.
Yeah.
It's making a difference in North Carolina and the region and even the nation, I would say.
Right.
It's just amazing.
How is the interest with the students here in health sciences?
You know,
Is the interest there?
the interest is there.
Okay.
We have an amazing reputation of preparing nurses, allied health professionals
Right.
for over 60 years. And you look at that, Winston-Salem State University is the third largest producer of nurses for the state. And our graduates have amazing outcomes. And people want to come, they want to be part of something that's exciting.
Exactly.
Something that is making a difference in the world. They want to be part of that. And when you look at our outcomes, majority of our students pass national board exams the first time, 90 to 100%.
Oh, that's serious.
It is serious.
That's
and
serious.
you know, and we
That says a lot about the school and the professors and the support here.
We want excellence.
Right.
And we want to be the very best that we can be. And we instill in our students that they can do it. You know, that they have what it takes. And that they are up to the challenge of excelling.
And it's showing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, you look absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
I love the pearls. You're rocking it.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
rocking it. You feeling good?
I feel good.
Yeah, the vibe is really good. Every time I meet you, your vibe is positive.
Oh, good.
And that's it's good for the students too.
Yeah.
Because it encourages them that they can be the next Dr. Valentine.
Yes, and you know how many students have told me they want to be in my seat?
I'm telling you,
You
it's
know?
because of your vibe.
Yeah.
And when you don't come off as untouchable, students believe they can be the next you.
Absolutely.
And that's
We're looking
important.
for people to replace us. You know, we're not going to be in these positions forever.
Yeah, and you got to
And we
prepare.
want to go to the next level, and then we
Yeah.
want students to replace us.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're doing the Healthcare Legends, which is a great program.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to do this program?
You know, we were looking back in our archives,
Right.
and we recognized that we're standing on some broad shoulders. And there's so many people who came before us who prepared those health professionals. Then I asked the question, well, where did we start? You know, how did healthcare come about in East Winston?
Right.
And you look at the history, and it tells us that back in the 1800s, after slavery, there was no health care for African Americans. And R.J. Reynolds, the tobacco company, was becoming a big thing in this particular area of the country. And there weren't that many skilled workers who could come and labor and to help this industry. And so as job opportunities came about, then more African Americans moved into Winston, well, at that time Winston. And so there was a need for health care. There was no health care. So people were practicing, they were using the old home remedies that they learned about in the community to treat each other.
Right.
There were no black physicians, no black nurses until after Winston-Salem State University was formed in 1892. And so Simon Green Atkins, our first president, had the vision. You know, not only do I want to make this a wonderful community for
Right.
African Americans, but they need health care in order for them to be their very best. And so, did you know that on this campus, that the first hospital in Winston-Salem was born?
On the campus of Winston-Salem
Yes.
State. SU? No.
Yeah,
Wow, that's some
really.
serious. Everything you're telling me so far is some serious history.
It is.
Yes.
And so, where the Old Kelly Library is located, that was the location for Slater Hospital.
Wow.
That hospital was created 10 years after the university, and it lasted for 10 years. And it was wonderful because there were people of color who cared about health care. They
Right.
wanted to make a difference,
Right.
to help people who were working in the industry, to keep them healthy so that they could have a better quality of life.
Right.
So R.J. Reynolds told Simon Green Atkins, I will deed this land to you, but you better raise some money. And so Simon Green Atkins went out and bought raised money for the community, and R.J. Reynolds matched it, and he deeded the land to the university at the time. And
that's where the hospital came.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so it lasted for 10 years. They did their very best because at that time money was very tight. So the resources were very limited at that time. And so the money that was raised, they barely had enough money to keep things going because patients, needed to have beds to sleep in, they needed food to eat. And so Lula Harrison, who was the very first director for nursing in the hospital, part of her job was raising money. And so she did the very best as she could. But monies were limited at that time.
And especially being African American.
Absolutely.
So that didn't help.
Yeah. Right. And I was going through the archives and I found that they even brought Booker T. Washington, who was a great orator at that time. They brought him here to raise money. And they raised, at that time, $1,000.
Which was a lot back then.
Yeah. And it kept the hospital going for a while, but then eventually money ran low again. And so they had to close after 2 years. But I want to talk about Lula Harrison, which is one of the persons that we're honoring. Even though we cannot identify any of her descendants, there's no record that she had children. She went to my alma mater, Howard University, nursing at Freedman's Hospital.
Right.
And so she came back to Winston-Salem after that training, and she became the hospital director and director of nursing. And so she did a lot of work to educate the community about healthcare. And so we want to honor her and her legacy.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And there will be other honorees.
Yes.
So the people that you'll be honoring on the 17th
yes.
Are people that made a difference
Absolutely.
in healthcare here in East Winston.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
Some of the very first black physicians who came to this part of the country.
Stuff we need to know about.
Yeah, and there were no hospitals. So after Slater Hospital closed, there were physicians who came together. They created hospitals and homes.
A lot of volunteer work, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and people couldn't afford to pay, so there was a bartering system. You do this for me, and I will give you so many, maybe chickens or whatever, to pay as a way of bartering to pay for the services rendered.
But don't eat too many of the chickens because you'll be back here. And I'll be
well, because I prepare it.
Exactly. So you'll be back here, and then all of a sudden we have to barter because we don't want you to get unhealthy eating too many chickens, right?
Yeah. And so,
wow, that's fantastic.
And so these African American physicians, pharmacists, and dentists, they paved the way for healthcare at a time where people say, I'm not sure if you had the skill, and they could not practice in the Twin City hospitals and the other white hospitals. So they created their own, and they were smart individuals who did some innovative surgeries. And there's this one person we're honoring. His grandson is coming to receive the award. He was able to operate on children who were born with their organs born outside of the body. And so he was able to create this milestone surgery by putting the organs back inside the body and then suturing, and these babies survived.
Wow.
And so the innovation that took place at the time is just amazing.
Yes, and the passion and the love that went into community back then that says, we understand you don't have the money, but we know there's a need. And we kind of lost that a little bit.
Yeah, I think so.
We'll get it back, but we lost that a little bit. And this Healthcare Legends Award banquet is going to help us, get that back, because I think so many people don't know about certain people and I didn't know that a lot of healthcare was started here. Didn't know about a hospital was here. Didn't know about the young man who did the innovative surgery was here. So when we find out, I think that's going to push us to get back to those days.
Yeah, and so Kate B. Reynolds Hospital, they called it KDB, back in the early 1900s, was also created. So the black physicians again came together and created this hospital. So they have a place to practice and take their patients who could not go to other facilities to receive health care.
So who are the others, some of the other, I know Larry Womble will be.
Yeah, so Larry Womble, as you know, he was North Carolina representative who did a lot to bring about the understanding of eugenics. And North Carolina is the only state where the victims of eugenics, forced sterilization in many cases, receive reparations. And so it's Larry Womble who brought that about, who increased our understanding of what was taking place in our state.
Yes.
He was able to get that law removed from the books and to make sure that those victims who were still living received some monetary compensation.
Right. He's an awesome man.
He really is.
Yes, and did a lot.
So much
oh
for North
my, he really
Carolina.
has. He really has.
And he's a WSSU alum.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Good friend of mine too. Who else will be honored at this
Well,
event?
we're going to be honoring Dr. Alexander Hamilton Ray, and he was a physician on this campus, and he took care of the students who were sick on campus. And so there were a number of other, Rembrandt Malloy, specialists in surgery, Humphrey Hall, the first African-American physician to practice in Forsyth County.
So will this be an ongoing event?
Yes. So this is the very first, and so we're hoping, because there's so many individuals we don't know about, that next year around the same time we'll have this again to celebrate those individuals who made a difference.
And Busta Brown will be your MC.
Yes. We would like you to come and do that.
I would love to. I would love to be a part of this kind of history and this kind of knowledge. One of the reasons I love doing this journalism is because of phenomenal women like yourself that want to tell stories of other phenomenal people that we don't know about, that we need to know about. Because we need to bring that kind of community, that urgency to love and be a community back. And that's what this is all about.
Absolutely. So we learn more about ourselves and learn about the past. And so we can't forget the past. Because say if you don't know your past, you're tempted to repeat the mistakes of the past. And so we must honor those individuals who came before us, who made a difference. And so we can learn from those individuals who sacrificed so much to help Winston-Salem to be what it is today.
Absolutely.
125 years.
125 years. Wow, that's huge, right?
It is.
If you don't know your past, you're going to keep trying to find yourself.
Yeah.
And you'll stay lost.
Absolutely.
You really will, because, being in a country like this is fantastic, but a lot of who we are got lost. And thank you for doing this.
Oh, it's my
so
pleasure.
We can find ourselves again.
Yeah.
Wow, this is big. So how was homecoming? I missed out this year.
Oh, wow, you missed an exciting game.
I missed SOS Band.
Oh,
I love some old school Dr. Valentine.
And I had never seen homecoming with so many people.
Wow.
The tailgating was bigger than the people in the stadium.
Oh, really?
There were so many people out tailgating and having a great time. It was such a great spirit on campus.
It was nothing but a family affair.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Like Sly the Family Stone. It's a family affair.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, you know that song, Dr. Valentine.
Do.
I know you do. I know you dignified and all that.
Well, I am.
And if I get
a regular person.
And if I get you too wide open, you be singing and dancing with
I'm just regular people who loves people and want to see them have a good quality life through good health care.
Look and you still lay back. Look at it. I just want to do the right things, Busta Brown. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate you so much.
Here.
Keep doing the good work.
I will.
And I'm going to hold you to next year.
All right.
You
remember that.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So Dr. Valentine, the event, the Healthcare Legends, it's absolutely free.
Absolutely free. So 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, we have what we call a pre-reception. There'll be food, like hors d'oeuvres, and there will be posters of the individuals that we're honoring. So following the reception, we'll have a program from 7 to 8, and this is when the individuals receive their medallions, and we're honoring 2 organizations who will receive plaques. And following the ceremony, there will be a coffee and dessert hour from 7 to 8 where one can meet the legends of East Winston.